In Ethiopia, on the 23rd of November, a massive volcanic blast shook the region. The first time in nearly 12,000 years of recorded history, the that volcano suddenly erupted. The explosion was so intense and unexpected that people living several kilometers away said it sounded like a powerful bomb going off. The eruption sent a gigantic ash plume rising nearly 50,000 feet into the atmosphere. The ash cloud was so enormous that it was clearly visible from space. If we look at the map, the ash first drifted toward Oman and Yemen, and later spread across Pakistan and India. Because of this, many flights in Delhi had to be cancelled. Flying near volcanic ash is extremely dangerous. These ash clouds are not just dust. They contain tiny rock fragments, glass-like particles, and sharp crystals. If such particles enter an aircraft engine, they can cause it to fail almost instantly. Not only that, these particles act like blades against aircraft windows. If a plane passes close to an ash cloud, the cockpit glass can be worn down like sandpaper. The scratches can become so severe that pilots may struggle to see clearly ahead. Disruptions weren't limited to India alone. Several routes across the Middle East were also affected. This ash cloud is still drifting, slowly moving toward China and Myanmar. The eruption was so powerful that the blast could be heard in cities located nearly 190 kilometers away. Even the neighboring country Djibouti experienced shock waves similar to an earthquake. About 28 kilometers away, in Ethiopia's Afdera region, multiple villages were completely covered in volcanic ash. Luckily, there were no human casualties. The reason is simple. This volcano is located in a very remote area. In fact, this region is considered one of the hottest places on Earth. It is known as the Danakil Depression. Parts of this area lie below sea level, and temperatures here often rise above 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. Rainfall is almost non-existent. This place is fascinating for scientists because it is geologically very active. Several volcanoes are found here. Tourists are also drawn to this region because of its striking and unusual landscapes. Just look at these visuals. The terrain almost looks alien-like. The vivid yellow, green, and blue shades are created by intense chemical reactions beneath the surface. Now you might be wondering, why did this volcano suddenly erupt after thousands of years of silence? The answer is truly fascinating. The African continent is slowly splitting apart. Yes, this is actually happening. Deep beneath the surface, tectonic plates are shifting, and Africa is gradually breaking into two parts. Millions of years ago, all continents were joined together into one massive landmass called Pangaea. Over time, Pangaea fractured, forming the continents we recognize today. If we zoom in on Africa, there was a time when the African and Arabian tectonic plates were connected. As they moved apart, the gap between them eventually filled with water, forming the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Even today, tectonic plates never stop moving. Right now, the African plate is once again splitting into the Nubian plate and the Somali plate. In the region where the that鈥檚volcano sits, three tectonic plates meet: the Nubian, Somali, and Arabian plates. These plates are slowly drifting away from one another, creating cracks in the Earth's crust. This region is known as the Afar Rift, which is part of the larger East African Rift system. If we follow this rift southward, scientists have identified a nearly 6,000-kilometer-long fracture line stretching from the Red Sea through Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, and all the way to Mozambique. It's the rift that will one day split Africa into two continents. But when we talk about the future here, we are speaking in geological time. From a human perspective, this process is incredibly slow. Experts estimate it may take 5 to 10 million years for the continent to fully separate. The plates move apart at a speed of just 2 to 5 centimeters per year, roughly the same rate as fingernails grow. However, Not everything happens slowly. The East African Rift is home to numerous volcanoes and mountains, including Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, and That鈥檚, famous for its lava lake. Many large lakes in the region exist because the land is pulling apart, such as Lake Malawi, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Albert, and Lake Kivu. When viewed from this angle, events like volcanic eruptions are not unexpected. As the plates continue to separate, earthquakes, eruptions, and ground fractures will become more common. In recent years, several such events have already occurred. In July 2025, another eruption took place near Haile-Goubi when That鈥檚became active. Earlier, white smoke had been seen rising from Haile-Goubi itself, which scientists had been monitoring closely. Back in 2005, a dramatic event shocked this region. A massive 60-kilometer-long crack opened up in the ground, forming in just 10 days. These images show the scale clearly. People standing near the fissure look incredibly small in comparison. We are literally watching a continent break apart in real time. If you find topics like this fascinating, you'll definitely enjoy the next video.